Welcome back to Frostpunk, the Fall of Winterhome. So we are currently dealing with reallocating our citizens from the outer regions so we can adjust our Steam core usage or Steam hub usage. We're also dealing with tearing down these ruins and of course getting enough food. There are many things that needs to be attended to in this scenario, to put it mildly. Now we have the ability to tear down 4 buildings, so we'll tear down this tent. Those are covered. This one is not. This one isn't covered. That's. It said it was covered. Then I have to tear it down again. So I can tear down 2 more buildings. This bunkhouse needs to go. This fighting arena can also go now. And we can shut this thing off. Tear this down. Clean up some roads. And build a cookhouse there. One of these must be steel. The other one probably should be coal. And we can build more resource depots. I don't think we can build them out here, but we can definitely build them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Storm shelter. As we enter the shelter, a group of scientists and explorers greets us warmly. Call up the explorers. We have some promising leads, but I'll understand if the exploration of Frostland is giving secondary priority in our circumstances, says the team leader. Shall we tell these people to leave their work and move to the city? Let them carry on with their exploration. Move on up to the iron deposit. Scouts have reached the Barren Hollow. This is one of those waypoint things. Now this scout unit it only has some raw food. Let's send it to the last camp. Eventually we want to do something about this place, so let's put some people in there. I also think we should build more workshops, to be honest. Build 2 of them there. Now this one can be set to be during working hours. No, it can't. This one, however, can. And as I said, getting the discontent down is simple. Getting the hope up, not so much. Let's decrease the steam level. Let's also build a steam hub here. And I think there is room for the gather. No, there isn't. $15.25. Well, we'll have to wait then. Are we going in a surplus on coal now? Yes, we are. Quite a good one as well. Steel ruins depleted, that probably means I have people now. Let's get rid of this building. Gathering post resources depleted. Well, now. That means we have room for another tent. $29 vacant beds. That means I can tear down 2 buildings. That one, for instance. Flying hunters have been researched. Now it's daytime, so let's pause the game here. Scouts have reached the last camp. Numerous tents, empty crates, sledges, and countless frozen bodies. We're afraid we know where these poor people came from. Steam cores and steel. The rest of us. We expected these people to make their way to Winterhome in the 3rd Dreadnought. Now it seems that some calamity must have befallen them. We should try to find the rest of them, and not just because this part of the expedition was carrying several steam cores. Sites discovered, mighty wreck. Let's send these guys back to Winterhome and then back out again afterwards. Now, as for buildings to tear down, this one is being dismantled, so let's take that one as well. We need to wait for that final tent to be built before we can tear down the bunkhouse, and then we can set that steam hub into working during working hours only. Scouts have reached the iron deposit. A vein of iron ore was exposed by a narrow crack in the ice. Rich prospects. The iron deposit is rich and easily accessible. We could set up an outpost here to process the iron ore and send steel to the city. We had 176 steel with us, but that is good to know. So, back to Winterhome with you. That was what I was going to do. Switch one of these to raw food, one of them to food rations, one of them to coal, and the last one to wood. And we go to food and Flying Hunter's hangar. Okay, so we don't want to upgrade those. Let's temporarily upgrade these, and then we want to build, if I can hit the thing, a sawmill. Is that tent completed? Yes, it is. Well, that means that the bunkhouse has to go. And this one now should be set to work hours only. Currently, we can shut this thing off and just use the internal heater in this building. Oh, we must research something. Now this is a difficult one. We do want the resource depot upgrade, but we also want difference engine. We need 20 wood before we can build the difference engine. Let's wait for that. Child crushed by a machine. There has been an accident. A child worker has been trapped and badly injured inside a machine. We have to stop the entire facility if we want to have a chance of saving the kid. We must try to save the kid. That happened inside a sawmill, which is not ideal. Okay, let's go with the difference engine. A miraculous recovery. Sir, we saved the burned child's life. Although he'll bear the scars for the rest of his life, his survival is, simply put, miraculous. People are rejoicing at the news. Hope will rise slightly. I did not manage to do that when I played through the last time. Gathering post resources depleted. It's safe to say that we'll keep that hunter's hut. It's too late to upgrade it now. This one we can tear down. We need workers in the sawmill. To turn this on to see its influence radius. because I want to move the cookhouse into its influence radius. Thank you. So there. Do I want... I think 2 cookhouses will suffice. Let's tear this one down, and then also that steam hub. Child worker rescued. We managed to get the child out of the machine alive, although gravely wounded. Let us hope that this kid will recover fully. Hope will rise slightly. We have many workers who are now unemployed. This one can be set to be during work hours. Does it extend far enough? So that if I build a gathering post there. Good. Can I also build another gathering post? Some children in this kitchen. Also, there's the matter of these buildings, which we will require yet another steam hub. We can sign a law, and we will go directly to the House of Prayer. Without question. Faith, House of Prayer. Let's build a little House of Prayer there. Should also build one there. Looks like this one is prolonged for some reason. About 3 days left of coal, but that's on steam level 1, of course. I think we can happily tear that one down. This one has no resources left. That means we can build another sawmill there. Scouts Unit number 2 have returned safely to the city with 1 steam core, 141 steel and 35 food rations. We'll of course send them right out again into Frostland. Send them up to the mighty wreck. we go. We might actually consider a better road. That'll do for now. A note of thanks. A note was left for the doctor who performed the amputation of the frightened patient. It reads, "Thank you. I was in terrible pain and blinded by fear, and my choice would have doomed me. I may be without a limb now, but I live." Hope will rise slightly. Now, is there room for a house of prayer here? Yes, there is. Splendid. The question is, since we have two of them down there, from that tent to that tent, so that row is not covered. Houses of prayer have been built. The houses of prayer have been erected, giving people a place to pray together and find comfort in faith. Hope rises. Scouts Unit number 1 have returned safely to the city with 176 metal. Not exactly what we needed, but send them down to the snow cliff. Children working in the sawmill. Might be able to switch them out with workers now. 3.2 per hour. Yeah, so they do half the yield of adults, which is not ideal. Voices in the ruins. Sir, one of our people has just heard voices coming from the ruins. It is a miracle that there are any survivors after all this time. We must hurry or we'll lose them. Okay. I might actually want to use adults on that. Although most of my adults are busy collecting food, which is kind of important. Let's remove them from that. Some children on that. Remove the children, put the adults in. Okay, so we have a steam hub here during working hours. Let's get a gathering post going. Let's also clean up these roads, because this is just ridiculous. Okay, now we're talking about... This is starting to look... Difference engine researched. We can now research tier 4. I think we need a steam wall drill. Gathering post resources. Dismantle. Coal thumper. How does that work with the road? No, it's not aligned. I believe we can have 2 gathering posts here, so I want the coal thumper to be aligned with that. That thing needs to be moved. Speaking of which, these need to be covered by steam hub as well. We'll build one there. And one there. Steel runes depleted. That was one of the critical ones. Coal mine. Another of the critical ones. Another coal mine. We can build some more resource depots for coal out here. Nine out of 15 absent. That is not ideal. Scouts have reached the snow cliff. Near the base of the cliff, some dark forms are visible buried deep under the ice and snow. Search might provide steam cores. Mysterious find. Several huge crates are buried here, exactly like the ones used to protect steam cores during transport. We will dig them out. Sites discovered: Lone Boulder and Freshwater Springs, and we get 1 steam core. Go to the Freshwater Springs. Now I need adults again. Those I'll have to leave on the building. We have many hunters. This is a good thing though, but I think actually we're going to tear down one of them. Probably this one, since it keeps being crappy. The rebirth of faith. Sir, people have started to visit the House of Prayer. There aren't many of them yet, but it might be the start of something special. It seems they really needed a proper place of worship. I am glad to hear that. Saying that is ever so amusing to me. I would prefer to get this somewhere covered by a steam core. Which means I need to get rid of this. One for coal, and this one for steel. And then we need to put some children in there. And some children in there. This gathering post is inoperative because they have no gatherable resources in range. And on that note, I think it is time to end the episode. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.